what's up? My name's Joel. I'm a teacher here at Solex, and today we are going to talk about all 12 English verb tenses. Now, I will not go into detail about every tense, so you still need to study all of the tenses. But if you have an exam coming up, or if you just need a quick reminder of what to think of when you're thinking of past perfect, progressive, or whatever, this is a good place to refresh your memory and think about things again. So, let's start with the most important tense, present tense. That's usually the first one that you learn when you learn English. And we'll move to the future, which is not as common as present or past. So, first, present simple. My example, I eat pizza every day. When we talk about present simple, we are talking about a routine, something that you do often, something that you never do, something that you always do. And as you can see, I say every day. So every day I eat pizza. Now, we make the present simple by using the subject plus the first form of the verb and then the object. And remember, with this form of the verb, he, she, it gets an S at the end of the verb. So for example, she eats pizza every day. Next, present progressive. When we talk about present progressive, we are talking about what is happening right now. Or we're talking about an action that is not complete. So, I am eating pizza now. Am I finished eating pizza? No, I am still eating right now. It's very important when you use present progressive to remember this verb be. So we make this by using the subject plus am, is, or are, plus the verb plus ing plus the object. And remember, the best way to think of this is an action that is not finished. Okay? Cool. Next is probably what my students say is the hardest to learn because it is so popular in English. We use this all the time. This is present perfect. My example is, I have eaten all of the pizza. Now, that seems like it's really similar to present, simple or progressive. But when we talk about perfect tenses, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, we are actually talking about two actions, two different parts of time. So we're talking about the past and we are talking about now. In this example right here, I have eaten all of the pizza. The action is complete. The pizza is gone. I ate all of it. I am sorry. But we're looking at the result right now. We are looking at the result right now. And do you see any time words here? No, there are no time words. We are talking about now. I have eaten all of the pizza. Okay? Now you make the present perfect by using the subject plus have or has. If it is he, she, it, we use has. Plus the third form of the verb, plus the object. Remember, the third form of the verb, some people call that past participle, which I think is a big word. I just call it verb 3, or third verb. Next one is very similar to present perfect. It's present perfect progressive. I have been eating pizza for 2 hours. So these are very, very similar. An action starts in the past and continues until now. And with progressive, it is still happening. The action is not finished. I have been eating pizza for 2 hours. Am I still eating pizza? Yes. I have been eating pizza for 2 hours and I still am eating pizza. So we make this by using the subject plus have or has, he, she, it, has, plus been, we always use been for this, plus the verb ing, plus the object. Alright, Now we are going to talk about the past tenses. So obviously we are thinking about things that happened yesterday or last week or 2 years ago, whatever, as long as it's in the past. Easiest one, past simple. Also probably one of the more important tenses in English to learn. When we talk about past simple, I always think of two things: a finished action and finished time. So, I ate pizza yesterday. Is the action finished? Yes. Am I eating pizza now? No. Is the time finished? Yes. Yesterday is complete. It is finished. And we make past simple by using the subject plus the second form of the verb, or the verb to as I call it also, plus an object. Okay? Next is the past progressive, which is a little bit more difficult to understand. For example, I was eating pizza when you arrived. When we talk about the past progressive, we are probably talking about two actions. Not always, but very often. One action is not complete in the past. It's not complete at a certain moment. Another action is complete and interrupts the other action. So, if you look at this sentence, what verb, what action happens first? Was eating. First, I was eating. Was I finished eating? No. And then you arrived and you interrupted me eating my pizza. Okay? So this is always the action that is not finished in the past. Okay? We make this by taking the subject plus was or were, was for singular things and were for plural subjects, plus the verb ing plus object. Cool? Alright, now we move to past perfect. And if you can remember what I said about present perfect, perfect tenses are always talking about two actions or two different times, okay? So this one we are talking about, here's an action and here's another action. Let's read the sentence. I had eaten all of the pizza when you arrived. The first action is complete. It is completely finished before the second action happens. With past perfect, you are always going to have two actions, and this first one is complete. That is the past perfect. It's by subject plus had plus verb 3 or the past participle plus object. Okay? And the last past tense we are going to talk about is the past perfect progressive. This tense is not very common in English. We do not use it very often, but when you read, you might see it, or maybe you'll hear it sometimes, but it is not as common as past simple or present perfect or something like that. So, let's look at the example first. I had been eating pizza for 2 hours when you arrived. Okay, so this is very similar to past perfect. We are talking about a complete action that happened before a second action. Except now I can tell you how long. I had been eating pizza for 2 hours. That's what makes it progressive. That's the ing right there. And we make this by taking the subject plus had plus been plus verb plus ing plus object. Okay, next we'll talk about the future tenses, which are not as common in English. So they are a little bit, not more difficult, but a little bit more strange to understand. Okay, so that's all we have for the first part of the 12 tenses of English. If you're waiting for the second part, make sure to like us, subscribe to Solex's other videos, and stay tuned, and I'll finish up the rest of the tenses of English.